The regular council meeting of the Village of Armada will now come to order. Will everyone rise for the pledge of allegiance to the flag, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our clerk is absent, so our treasurer is going to act as a clerk. Will you call the roll, please, Joe?
Cooper.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Ballard.
Here.
Duffy.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Bullock.
Yes. Here.
Shaw is absent.
Shaw is absent, yes. Approval of the agenda. What's the council's wishes, please?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the citizen comments. Anybody would like to address the council at this time?
Good, that makes writing for me easier.
Okay, there's no presentations tonight. Administrative reports, with the first one will be F and V. You have your treasurer's report in your packet and also liaison reports, if there's any. First, we have F and V and also Mr. Clark, please.
Well, since Chris is here, I will turn it over to him.
This is the sewer administrative report, or sewer report, for the month of December 2017. First, I would like to say in Appendix E of your guys' packets, the mercury minimization plan is in that appendix. That was approved on December 8th by the MDEQ, and it went into effect on January 1st, 2018.
What did you call it, Chris? Mercury?
Minimization plan. We had to make 3 different sets of revisions to it before they would finally approve it.
When did it go into effect? I'm sorry.
They approved it December 8th. We're gonna start following it as of January 1st, 2018.
Oh, okay.
As far as violations, it was a quiet month. We had no violations for the month of December. Average flow was 98,000 gallons a day. Max flow for a single day was 135,000 gallons a day. We did have a few issues. I have spoke with Steve Clark several times over the past few weeks. I have scheduled a DTE, spoke to them several times to come out. They're supposed to install a data logger on the incoming power to record any anomalies that we may be having and causing some of our electrical issues that have been going on at the plant. Our mechanical bar screen also kind of got bound up. We're working on, in the process of trying to fix it right now. Hydrodyne Engineering, the people that designed and built that piece of equipment, actually got a hold of me, and they are interested in coming to look at it, and they have some new designs to that particular unit, and I'm going to get some prices on possibly rehabbing and upgrading that, depending on what kind of warranty they have, how long they guarantee it for. Maybe if the price isn't too outrageous, we might be able to allocate some of the monies in the SRF from that piece of equipment and use it somewhere else in the SRF loan. Just an option I'm looking at. Our maintenance cap right now is currently about $13,000. We got, to go through June 30th, we got $2,000 left. We've used a lot of our money up on electrical items this year, from transducers to troubleshooting to replacing mag meters. We're still trying to pinpoint what's going on. I would like to suggest trying to get someone out, maybe like Bixby's, to do some infrared testing on the transformers and things of that nature. From my understanding, it's a few $100s to do. They give you a report, and it is something that the DEQ recommends that we do. It kind of will, if I misspoken, Lionel, please interrupt me. Infrared testing will possibly pinpoint some hot areas where things may be going bad in transformers or pieces of equipment that are running extra hot. And we might be able to be a little more proactive and get some of this stuff fixed. The weekend of December 30th, we were running the plant manually because nothing would run as far as pumps and blowers. They kept alarming every time they'd kick on for no reason. I came in to relieve Stewart and I went to turn on a motive pump and the light started dimming out and blinking in the plant. I went and shut down our incoming power from DTE, turned on the generator, and ran off that power for about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Things ran normal. Shut it back down, went back over to DTE power, and since that day, knock on wood, we haven't had that anomaly again, but that has happened. Not the dimming of the lights, but the same issues, keep getting alarms for no reason. Probably 3 times in the past 2 months.
Yeah.
It'll go on for 2 days, we'll have people come look, they can't find anything, and then it just goes away, like it just appears like gremlin. And I've been told that it possibly could be transformers, it could be several things. I would like to start maybe trying to pinpoint that issue a little more, because that's something that
If you've already had people come out to look at it and can't find anything, who would you call next?
I've had
What step would you
instrumentation
go to?
people come in because I thought possibly it was like a bad PLC board that kept tripping an alarm on the blowers and the pumps, and that wasn't the issue. The voltage was normal, amp draws were normal on the equipment, the oil levels were normal. I wouldn't run in the equipment on the 30th of December because it was like, acted like a brownout, like we only had
Right, that's what you told me. the one
amperage
day.
on like 2 legs out of 3 or something. I didn't want to burn up any of the expensive motor pumps or anything like that. So that's why I switched over to generator power and then things took back off.
So who will you get to look at it?
An
Electrician?
electrician, yes, a master electrician, an
Okay.
industrial electrician. I've had some recommendations made to me. It's probably not going to be an easy fix and find. It's going to take some, I think infrared testing would be a good place to start. I don't know if you agree or not, you're an
How long has
electrician.
it been since it's done it now?
I can't say that, it hasn't been done since I've been there.
No, I mean,
The
Oh,
problem,
since
the
it's
problem,
been doing
you said it stopped since you went to that generator, so that was in December, so you haven't had it all of January now?
Nope, it is not fixed though. When
Okay.
it come back, it usually does. I was also made aware that I had DTE come out that Sunday, and they checked their incoming voltage at that current time, and their voltage was within the acceptable ranges. I was told by DTE that them 2 transformers out in front of the wastewater plant are the villages. Whether there's a bonding issue or who knows what it could be. I have had voltage from ground and neutral, which probably makes no sense, but you're not supposed to have that. From ground and neutral, you're supposed to have 0 volts. That's not only dangerous, it's a safety issue. If there was a short, someone grabbed a hold of the control panel handle just to open it, they could get zapped.
So how long before you think you can get somebody out there? I mean, we're ready to setting up budgets and what we need to do.
I could set up a IR testing, I can get some approximate costs on this. It's probably gonna be, as far as infrared testing, from what I understand, a few $100. That'd be a good place to start. And that'd kind of give us some troublesome areas maybe.
Okay.
And I've got everything documented if you guys have any questions. My understanding, when the plant was designed back then, they grounded everything to conduit and things of that nature, so if you do lose a ground, I don't see the electric bills, but if they went up, it's just a stray voltage is just being used and not being reinserted, it's just going,
Significant.
Okay. The maintenance was mostly electrical issues. We did have NMIT gas monitoring company come out because we were having issues with the gas monitor, the sensor. He came out and troubleshot it and discovered what he called the PLC board, which is just a little tiny circuit board, was bad, and he replaced that free of charge. I think Steve was out there that day. Happened to stop by. We did have a company that was recommended to me, Great Lakes Power and Lighting. They were out because we had some receptacles in the laboratory that weren't had no power to them. And they found one of the power conditioners had blown fuses, and one of the transformer that controls that circuit, that 80 amp circuit panel for the lights and things was having what they call bonding issues. So they basically bonded the neutral to the ground, and that seems to have helped. That transformer was also extremely hot to the touch.
Was that also up in the ceiling too?
That's the power conditioner,
Okay.
is what that is.
It was kind of hidden up in the drop ceiling.
There's a disconnect down there, or reset switch, when we do have power outages or bumps. We have to reset that.
Okay. Was any of this identified in the ES2?
Not to
These
my
electrical
knowledge.
issues?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
This has been recommended to me by most of the people that have been out there that we've got a lot of transformers, reducing transformers. We got like 6 alone. That don't include the power conditioners and such that are on that main control panel. There's a lot of transformers in there, and they don't understand why there wasn't like a direct 120 volt feed to the motor starters in each bucket and all that. And it's way above my head. I'm not an electrician. I can just go by what I've been told, and it doesn't make sense, but I will get with Bixby's. They're the only one that I'm aware of that does IR testing. The DEQ always asks about that too. It seems like infrared testing. They recommend it yearly, but I don't know. I'll find out exactly how much it is.
Okay.
And we did have 5 emergency out of scope alarms for the month, and they were all electrical related issues, from solenoid valves going bad to high temperature overloads on the motor starters. They're all documented. I won't go through each one of them. It's taking me longer than I already had spent. I tried to be short, but it's never short. Do you guys have any more questions for me? I'm sorry to be
No,
such
just as soon as you can
great-
get some of those costs, or let me know if there's any equipment or anything that needs to be replaced.
Do you have any recommendations on this, Lyle?
No, we're doing fine.
That way I can get it in the budget.
And I've been bugging Steve a lot, calling him every time we have something like this, just so there's someone else that's aware of it besides me. And I will, as soon as DTE comes out, I will let you guys know.
Okay.
I've been getting around and around and around and around with them since December 30th now, when they were actually on site.
Thank you, Chris. Nice job.
Is some of that stuff with the DTEs that, would it be considered emergency that they should come out immediately?
If it's their power, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And they came out and verified that it wasn't their incoming power at that particular moment, and so I brought up the data logger to him, and he said he will get on it, and their first day back to work after the holidays was on a Wednesday. And I called him that Friday, and he said he put the work order in. I followed up the following week. He didn't answer. I got a hold of somebody named Wendy Brown not last week, but the week before, and she was going on vacation, and she was gonna have somebody get a hold of me. And that guy finally got a hold of me again this morning. So they're talking this week, it's gonna be put in for approximately 10 days. I'd like them to try to talk into leaving it in longer. If we have any more issues like this, at least it'll be in, and they can see if it is their incoming power or not. So I know they did some work on the substation down here, and these issues seem like they've been happening since there was a squirrel late last summer that got fried on a transformer across the street. And ever since they replaced that transformer, we've had a lot of little electrical issues going on. Whether it sent a surge and messed up one of the transformers, and it's just a hit and miss issue, we'll find out more, have to, so.
That's not the first critter that got in there.
Oh, it was gross
Over
looking,
and over.
he was smoking, so.
We've had that issue a lot.
I don't know where we stand. I just wanted to throw this out there. It's a free service. the Michigan Water Environment Association for water and wastewater. They do free rate studies to see if you guys are right where you need to be on your rates, if you were interested, so
If you can get that information to me,
I will do that.
I can compare that with what we've got already going.
That'd be great.
The return air unit is in, it is working. I'm gonna have Steve follow up on one thing with the proposal and make sure it's completely, they cross the Ts, dot their Is on everything that's supposed to be done. But it is up and running and working nicely, so. And that is all for the second time now, that's all I got. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay, thanks, Chris.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Chris.
Chris.
You guys have a great night, I
You
will be in
too.
touch, Steve.
Okay.
Bye, Steve. Or, bye, Chris.
You have a great night.
You too.
You like the liaison reports? Next is the consent agenda. What is the council's wishes on the approval of the regular council meeting minutes of January the 8th and the payment of bills?
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda to be accepted as presented.
A second?
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. There's no old business tonight. Next is the new business, which is approval of the treasurer to contact Miller Canfield. If council wishes to have her do so.
I'll move to allow the treasurer to begin discussion with Miller Canfield regarding bonds for water and sewer.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. DPW employee. Michelle has a letter in here which she's suggesting to go ahead and print. What's council's wishes?
Well, can we discuss a minute first?
Yeah,
The motion was left open-ended because of the fact that she wasn't sure if we only wanted to post it in the record. She's not sure we would get many applicants back from it being in that local of a paper. So she was open to any other places that anyone else would think, or she didn't get time, but she wanted to talk to Ed to see if there's a municipality place to post wanted ads for skilled people as well. So she left the motion open-ended in case we as council discussed and came up with anywhere else we would like it to be posted.
Daily, like the Macomb Daily, is it?
Well, that's what I asked. I asked about the Macomb Daily and the Detroit News, because I know they still have their Hope Wanted ads and they can do them online. She said that was up to council, that's why she left it open, so it's whatever that we want.
I know it's different. If you want print, it's one fee. If you want online, it's one. If you want
Right.
both, it's bigger. Yeah.
Right. So we would have to spell it out in the motion.
I just don't know where, if you got the proper licenses that we'd like have, water operator's license, if those people are looking for a job, where do they look?
It used to be Monster was.
I
the
don't
main
think they're
one, but
gonna, I agree, I don't think they're gonna look in the record necessarily, but
No.
I'm not even sure the dailies.
Doesn't the Michigan Unemployment Office,
Yep, Michigan Job Works.
Yeah.
Talent.
I would check that.
Should we table this until we get some quotes for how much it would be,
Should we
or no?
contact the Michigan Municipal League? on
And the
this?
MML, they have categories specific.
That's what I was
categories for
thinking, if
that.
the MML had something.
Yeah.
so you want to bring this back to the next meeting?
Well,
No,
Lyle's
I
in
think we should get this
disagreement.
going.
Yeah,
Gotta get this going.
well, you wanna put something in the local papers, so also check this other
We
line?
can also
or-
do it at a cost not to exceed, because then we could just base it based on cost, you know, we don't want it to cost over so-and-so.
Well, where does, if you did it with MML, where would that show up? On their website? Or do they have a network of municipalities and that goes?
We're a member of MML, so anything through MML should be free.
I don't think there's a charge for it.
No, there shouldn't be.
Oh, well then, for I
I
don't
know
think
if
the
you put it-
Michigan Works thing is costs either.
You put an ad in the news, they're so expensive. I put personal ads in there, they're so expensive and the response is terrible. I mean terrible. I put 3 ads and like I said, I'll not do it
Why
again.
don't you put it in the daily?
In conjunction with
Put it in
an
Michigan
online
Job Works, and
Yeah,
then.
something.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me write it down. Michigan Job Works.
Yeah. MML, Comb Daily, and you've got the record already on there.
Okay, that's what I have too. is the
Now,
record.
the only thing is, and what she told me too, Ed's discrepancy on putting it in like the Macomb Daily or anything like that is you're gonna get people, because I guess it says in the contract, you have to live a half hour away from the municipality. And if you advertise it there, you'll get people that live outside that half hour zone. My thinking is if they apply for it and they know that's in there, then they know they have to move. And some people are up for moving, especially out here from, if they're down farther, you know?
Well, we had the same thing with the police chief.
Right,
And they came out here, interviewed, and we said, well, yeah,
Right.
the time it takes you, we extended that time.
right. But I'm just letting you know what Ed's
Yeah.
thought was on it. So I'm just telling you guys before we make the motion that that was what his discrepancy was with advertising it in a bigger paper.
But you're gonna have to advertise in a different paper, or a bigger paper,
'Cause
if you wanna
know,
get
yeah.
people out here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you have a limited-
Right,
Tell them.
right. So, do you wanna put a cost not to exceed on this, or
No.
just leave it open-ended like this?
Leave it open,
It is needed, it's,
you gotta do it.
Looking to get anybody,
I would suggest that
People with
it be a
license.
print with the online part. too.
Print and online?
My recent experience with this is that we just did the print.
yeah, there's a lot of people that just do stuff online.
And online.
Right, we didn't get very good responses, and the ones we did didn't have the qualifications, they just had the paper. Right? So
Right.
you need to have sort of a plan of attack there, and online is a big part of that now, right? Okay.
Post it on Facebook, everybody seems to know what's going on.
Yeah.
'Cause they go
Well,
to
that's what I'm
Facebook.
kinda like, we could type it up on our individuals and share it out to people, but I don't know if I know
Not
many
me,
people
I
that
don't
are
know how
skilled
to
in
do
that area that would see it, but
I don't
Do
know.
we even have something on our own website that we could,
What is Twitter? I mean, the president goes on Twitter,
not for jobs. I don't think you can get much on Twitter.
so.
I don't know if it's on our website, but there's no reason why it couldn't be.
yeah.
you know, I'm not so sure in the future that we might wanna, you're not gonna get rid of your DPW, I don't mean that at all. But as far as kinda running of the water system,
Yeah, go back to
testing and all
contract.
that, I think you may be looking at privatizing. We can't even get some, we have not been, even had people with licenses hardly apply over the last 15 years, Joe?
Or at least that.
How many, we've gone through a lot of guys, we haven't been able to get them to pass it, so I'm just thinking in the future, I mean, it's not gonna stop the work the DPW guys do, except maybe the testing and different things that they have to do with the water. You may have to privatize that.
Well, if it's fitting and proper, I'd like to make a motion if possible.
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to allow the clerk to advertise for the DPW laborer position in the record, our website, Michigan Job Works, MML, and the Macomb Daily in print and online.
Second.
Moved and supported.
Discussion.
Discussion, yes.
We want to put in there a laborer, because, laborer is a very broad spectrum. We should put in there, water and sewer,
Technician?
yeah, whatever they call these guys in the licenses.
That's a good idea.
Because guys will say labor, I don't want to work for them, guys just want labor, no. No, this is what we're looking for here, they don't have to read all of that. So all they have to say is, in fact, I've seen them in there, it says, D3 and S3 license carriers. Okay, needed, or something like that. When they see that, they're gonna know what that is, they're gonna read the whole thing.
Well, why don't you write up what you want on there and just put that on Michelle's desk?
Then
Okay.
you
Because that's
add
not part of the motion.
one more thing, AWWA, American
Okay,
Water
okay.
Works Association, also has monthly magazines that they put out, and on the back of them, they list job
Mhm.
categories.
I'm okay with adding that to the motion. Are you okay seconding still, Sam? Okay.
Right, so you've got to add, you've got the motion.
AWWA. Yeah, I'm writing it up
Yeah,
on mine for
okay.
her. Yep.
I'm gonna leave her.
That's good, and I think that's a good idea about the way that you started.
Yeah, the
because
heading of it, yeah.
You will get a less licensed group of people if you ask for labor than if you ask for, yeah.
Well, they're gonna do labor anyhow, but,
Yeah,
you know,
but still.
that still is right. Any other discussion? Do you all understand or need it read back to you?
I'm good.
Are all good?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna spend money.
Well, yeah, we're gonna spend money, so we're going to have a roll call on this too.
But we're not putting a dollar amount or a wage amount in the ad, right?
No,
Okay.
We can still do a roll call just in case.
Yeah, we're going, because by the time she puts it in the paper, somebody's gonna,
Yeah, right.
well, the committee's gonna have to do something like we talked about before for wages anyhow on that, so their work is really gonna be cut out for the, that part of it, period. So, and of course, they'll be coming back to us also.
Ready, Joe?
no,
Ready?
no, just hang on. Now, see, each time you ask me, I gotta start over again. Nobody talk to me. Clark,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Wallach.
Yes. Okay,
Carried.
Yeah, motion carried. Next would be the up and coming agenda items. Council have any? None? Now the floor
We
is
should
open.
be able to talk about employee contracts at the next one under executive
Yes, we should.
session. Okay.
Next session, yeah, because our meeting is what, is it the 12th?
I'm sorry?
Our next meeting is at the 12th of February? 12th and 26th, I think.
12th.
29th.
Yes, it is the 12th.
And then 26th is the second meeting.
Yep.
Or-
Yep.
I thought I was
Because the
right.
5th is the first Monday, so.
Yeah, right, okay.
Okay.
Now the floor is open up again to citizen comments.
Okay, I'm a retired instrument technician, or electrician if you prefer. One thing to be careful of with this ad that you're talking about is I called one place and said, saw an ad in the paper that said it wanted an instrument technician. I didn't know what it was. I called up and I said, I don't know what that is. Oh, we repair instrumentation. Oh, yeah, I do that. Okay, I'll go interview and talk to you, and I got a job, and carry on. So be careful when you place an ad to say what you really,
Titles on.
somebody's title is, because some people don't know titles.
Right.
What's your name? I'm sorry for the
Larry,
minutes.
Larry for my real name. Larry's what I've always been called.
Okay.
Have you ever been late for supper?
No, but sometimes somebody calls, says Larry Simpson, and I don't know who they're talking about, I'm Arthur.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Council comments at this time? None? Community events? Council have any?
Parent-teacher conferences at the schools are this Thursday from 3 to 5 and 6 to 8, and a half day on Friday.
This Friday,
Yes.
It seems like they're off all the time.
3 to 6 and 6 to 8.
3 to 5 and 6 to 8.
Yeah.
It's Thursday.
Parent-teacher conferences, and then the next day on Friday is a half day.
Okay. We don't have a closed session tonight, so it is fitting and proper.
The time is
John.
7:28. I make a motion to adjourn.
Sport?
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Uh,
Aye, motion carried.